Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open their longest homestand of the season. It's the first of 3 against the Detroit Tigers. Good evening, everybody. The Astros happy to be back at home. Alan Ashby, Bill Brown, and Bart Ennis will join us in just a few minutes to see the Astros homecoming after a rough 2-7 road trip, Ash.
Well, it was rough, and they have been lengthy on the road recently. Before winning that, the Astros had won just 3 of their previous 20 on the road. So, yeah, it's been tough away from home.
Well, one of the home beneficiaries of their good play is Dallas Keuchel. He is 10-0 at home this season.
Fabulous in 12 starts, Dallas Keuchel. Of course, fabulous over the course of the year. Dallas has been the ace of the staff, but he just keeps coming back here to Minute Maid Park, dominating, and he'll get the ground balls, leads the major leagues in that regard. Not a big strikeout guy, but he keeps the ball in the ballpark. In particular, here at home, has not, as you see there, allowed a home run at home this year. You have to fear the beard when you see that kind of set of stats.
Stay tuned, because we'll be taking a closer look now at Carlos Correa's numbers as he bids for Rookie of the Year honors in the American League. Don't go away. .59 and the Astros 62 and 53 playing in this series. Miguel Cabrera returns from the DL for Detroit, so a lot of talented hitters are on display, but Correa gets our focus in this segment, Ash.
Amongst all major league shortstops with at least 230 plate appearances this year, Carlos Correa leads in OPS. That means he's totaling up that slugging and the on-base and swinging it very well. 14 home runs, the most since Alex Rodriguez was able to do that as a shortstop. And he just hits the extra base hits constantly. Late in counts, drives the ball to right field. Carlos Correa also plays a great shortstop, and he has hit the highlight reels many times with all the defense that he's come up with. But that offensive side of the game sets him apart now as a young shortstop.
And he's the TXU Energy Power player. Dallas Keuchel on the mound. He's got a great shortstop behind him. Coming up, the lineups and the first pitch as the Astros meet the Tigers in just a moment.
Started here. This is a place where the Astros have won all kinds of games, close games, blowouts. They win them all. The problem has been on the road, particularly in close games on the road. We saw that this most recent trip where 8 of the 9 games were decided by 2 runs or less. And in those 8 games, the Astros were 2-6. They just couldn't come up with a way to win those close games. Astros general manager Jeff Luhnow has tweaked this roster, of course, so he's hoping that will help. That leads us into our Geico quote of the day, and it is from Jeff Luhnow. He said, I think if this team is going to be a playoff contender and a playoff team, we're going to have to learn how to win those close games. I think the most important thing for us is to get a healthy George Springer back. That will help us more than any other single move we can make. I think we've got the right players and the right staff to be very competitive from here until the end. Now that leads us to a medical update on George Springer. He met with team doctors this morning, and the report was very positive. They said the bone in his right wrist that was broken is healing right on schedule, and he has been cleared to resume some baseball activities, which means he can get out and throw with his teammates. He can shag fly balls in the outfield as he was doing before tonight's game with no brace on that right hand. The only thing he can't do right now is swing the bat. He's still several days away from being able to do that, but he's right on course to hopefully rejoin the team in September, probably when the rosters expand. There is no definitive timetable, but they'll love to have George Springer back at some point in September, hopefully picking up right where he left off, because they need his bat, his speed, and his defense in the outfield. All right, we're just about ready to go. Let's go back up to the broadcast booth. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby, guys.
Thank you very much, Bart. Dallas Keuchel and the Astros take the field. They have won 38 games at home. That equals their victory total at home all of last season. But what a different year it's been. Last year they were 38-43 in this ballpark. This year they're 38-18 for a .679 winning percentage. Dallas Keuchel, as we mentioned earlier, 10-0 at home with a microscopic ERA. His home winning streak goes back to the end of last season. He had his 11-game winning streak at home overall. Danny Darwin has the club record of 13 in a row in victories at home. Keuchel shoots for number 12 overall tonight. Against this starting lineup for Detroit, and Brad Ausmus is the skipper, as you know. Rajai Davis is the left fielder. He leads it off with Ian Kinsler at second base. It's Miguel Cabrera returning from the disabled list without any rehab assignment in the minor leagues. He's at first base. Victor Martinez is the DH. Former Astro J.D. Martinez is in right field with Nick Castellanos at third base. James McCann, the catcher. Jose Iglesias at shortstop. Anthony Gose is the center fielder batting ninth. The pitcher is Alfredo Simon as we see Keuchel getting loose.
Of course, Dallas Keuchel, as we talked about in the open, 10-0 in 12 starts here at Minute Maid Park, has not allowed a home run, keeps the ball on the ground better than any other pitcher in all of Major League Baseball, and that opponent's batting average against at .213, fifth best in the American League. Since the All-Star break, and in particular over the last 4 starts, 3.29 ERA in that span, and that would be the only thing you'd look at as any kind of blemish at all, and that's not bad for anybody else that gets out there to the hill.
Speedy Rajai Davis ready to go. The corner infielders have crept in on the grass. First pitch to him is strike one. The home plate umpire is Adrian Johnson. There's the way they play it, with Lowry in tied at third and a bold positioning for Marwin Gonzalez far in on that grass at first base. It's foul back, but Davis has been known to bunt, and his legs are a real weapon. He has 17 steals, a .250 average, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. Just 3 for 22 this month. Davis is 0 for 7 in his career against Keuchel. He reaches for it and strikes out.
Pretty amazing when you see a hitter reaching like that on a fastball. That was the sinking fastball down and away, spotted off the plate, and still Rajai Davis couldn't lay off. Defensively behind Keuchel tonight, Evan Gattis in left, Carlos Gomez in center, and right field Preston Tucker. Left side of the infield is Jed Lowry and Carlos Correa. On the right, Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez. Jason Castro has the assignment behind the plate.
Former Texas Ranger Ian Kinsler comes up. Kinsler takes, there's ball one, to a .300 hitter with 6 homers, 52 runs batted in. Third in hits with 136 in the American League, and he cranks that one foul. 1-1. He had a game-winning hit not too long ago. He is 6 for 19 with a homer in his career against Keuchel. Ian, 33 years old. Texas drafted him in the 17th round in 03. He went to Detroit after the 2013 season in the Prince Fielder trade. And takes that one. The appeal went to the first base umpire, Bill Miller, who gave the safe sign, so it's ball 2. Kinsler has hit .384 his last 37 games. Line to shortstop, Carlos Correa. That one is scorched for out number 2. That 6'4" frame helped out to get this out.
Now our strike zone brought to you by MD Anderson. As you see, the quality of the pitches thrown by Dallas Keuchel right on the outside edge, despite elevating a bit. He knew what he was doing. He's got Carlos Correa in position.
Now the talented Miguel Cabrera, a 10-time All-Star. That's a quality pitch, but it's just off the plate. Ball 1. Cabrera's not biting. He's hitting .350 with 15 homers, 54 runs batted in. Gaudy OPS of 1,034.
A little less quality at the plate, and Dallas Keuchel probably had a strike on the first pitch.
Yeah. Cabrera's been out for weeks with a left calf strain. That goes back to July 4th. Long stay on the DL for this .320 career hitter. That's a high strike call. That makes it 2-1 to Miguel Cabrera, who went 7 for 15 when the Astros were in Detroit.
His .320 career hitter would like to have that one back.
He bounces one slowly and foul for a 2-ball 2-strike count. Cabrera always dangerous. Hit 25 homers last year, drove in 109. He played with an ankle injury much of the year. There you see the terrific career numbers for Miguel Cabrera, good friend of Jose Altuve. And they're both Venezuelan born, as you know. He's a 3-time batting champ, 2-time MVP. And that one rolls foul. Cabrera not needing any rehab time in the minor leagues because of his great stature in the game, of course. A player who's been around as long and who has had as much success as Miguel Cabrera. Kind of dictates his playing time in a situation like this. He's worked his way back. And he's back in a big league uniform without needing that trip to the minors for a few at bats.
You want me to play tonight? Well, let's do it right here then.
That's his call. And the breaking balls, ball 3. And of course, in the Tigers situation, Ash, they're 55 and 59. They're 13 games out. After big expectations coming into this season, they've won the AL Central for each of the last 4 seasons, including the maiden voyage of Brad Ausmus last year. Very difficult season for them right now.
A lot of expectations, no doubt, in Detroit at the start of the year.
Struck him out for a 1-2-3 first. The Astros are up against Alfredo Simon in a moment. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jose Altuve leads it off at second base. The number 2 hitter is right fielder Preston Tucker, followed by shortstop Carlos Correa, third baseman Jed Lowry, center fielder Carlos Gomez, left fielder Evan Gattis, DH Luis Valbuena, first baseman Marlon Gonzalez, and catcher Jason Castro.
And on the mound for the Detroit Tigers, Alfredo Simon. That's how he says his name, Simon, so we'll go with that. No decision his last time out. Got roughed up a little bit by the Boston Red Sox. 6 earnings and 9 hits in 6 2/3 innings.
Simon with that 10-win total for the season, getting some good run support. And with that start you mentioned against Boston Saturday, the no decision in a game Detroit won 7-6, but he gave up 6 earnings in 6 2/3. Faces Jose Altuve. Upstairs, ball 1 to Altuve, who starts the homestand at .298 with 9 homers, 48 runs batted in, and 30 steals, leading the American League. He's 9th in hits with 130. Third baseman Castellanos close to the base at third. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. Simon relies on the split-fingered fastball for a lot of his important outs. And the batting average against that pitch is .238, and it's been described that he lives and dies with that pitch. It's in for a strike over the outside edge, and it's 2-1 for Simon.
What I would say is he's lived and died with run support this year with a 10-6 record and a 4.74 ERA. Pretty good pitch right there on Jose.
Simon just joined Detroit this season. He was traded to the Tigers last December from Cincinnati. Line drive. It's a broken bat hit to left field. Rajai Davis comes over. Altuve with a big turn. Headed back to first. Leadoff hit for Altuve. And the Astros, who have all kinds of problems hitting on the road, get a hit on this 10-game homestand in Game 1 from hitter number 1.
Jose Altuve gets a pitch to handle. You can see that's pretty much what anybody would like to see. Snaps the bat, gets the hit. Right at about that 300 mark now, and we keep waiting to see him kind of take off with those numbers.
He's aboard for Preston Tucker. Tucker had a big series at Detroit when the two teams split the 4-game set in the Motor City earlier this year. Tucker was 4 for 9, hitting 2 homers and driving in 4. Simon glancing over his shoulder there. Cabrera holding Altuve on, and the toss goes over in that direction. James McCann is the fine young catcher for the Tigers. His arm could be tested, with Altuve leading the league with 30 steals. He's been caught 11 times. The Astros as a team are atop the American League with 86 stolen bases. That's a strike to Tucker. 0-1 to Preston. Preston hit 190 on the road trip. There are many such similar batting averages for Astros hitters during that 2-7 trip, but they did win the final game in San Francisco Wednesday 2-0, and then had an off day yesterday. Also had an off day on Monday this week. Altuve takes off. Bouncer slowly hit. Miguel Cabrera back to first for out number 1. Altuve to second base.
Well, you move the man up with the swing right there. I'm not so sure that Altuve didn't have that stolen anyway. But kind of an intriguing play with Miguel Cabrera, who was out with a calf strain, which can be really dicey. And there he's got plays like this where he has to make quick moves on that calf.
That was an early test for him. Carlos Correa is the batter. He's belted 14 homers while driving in 37 runs with a 282 batting average. Leading the American League shortstops in homers. He's hit 6 long balls in his last 14 games. Youngest position player in the majors. And he leads American League rookies in several offensive categories. Kinsler shading up the middle, leaving the right side of the infield pretty open. Inside, and Correa, in some recent articles, has said that the pitchers have been pounding him inside. That's a pitch he has been working on quite a bit. And he's hit 340 with runners in scoring position. It's part of his pregame work. So he hit pitches off the inside corner. He places them there on a tee. He's been working on positioning his hands inside the ball, as they say. Ash, if you can only describe that term.
Yeah, it's pretty much delaying the barrel of the bat behind the hands as you get to the baseball. If you can picture putting the hands out front and the barrel delayed back. Carlos was talking about that while on this recent road trip, about how when he was injured last year with the broken ankle, leg, whatever it was, that he did some work on that very aspect.
Off the dish, it's 3-0 to Carlos. Another thing he's been working on is recognizing the strike zone.
That strike zone could have yielded a strike, but that's not a pitch you want to swing at in that count.
And that's another part of what he points out, is looking for a pitch in a certain area, and that wasn't the one he was looking for. That one pushes him off the plate, and it's ball 4. Correa taking his 21st walk of the year. And with these walks, his on-base average is up to 342.
Defensively for the Tigers, speed in left field. Rajai Davis as well at center with Anthony Gose. J.D. Martinez not so much in right. Left side of the infield, Nick Castellanos and Jose Iglesias. On the right, Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera. James McCann has taken over behind the plate now for the Tigers.
Good Friday night crowd watching from down the right field line. And it's Jed Lowry batting. Lowry has fit very well into this lineup since returning from his surgery on his right thumb. 274, 5 homers, 14 runs batted in for Jed. A very fine 397 on base average. So he's provided exactly what the Astros were hoping he would provide, despite being out for weeks with that injury. He hit a solo homer in the 8th inning Wednesday at San Francisco in the 2-0 win. He looks at ball one. Lowry is a contact type of hitter. He has 18 walks, 20 strikeouts. So in this number 4 spot in the lineup, he serves as a buffer between some hitters who don't walk as much and strike out more. Carlos Gomez on deck. And a turn back towards second where Altuve gets back to the base. Iglesias cutting in behind. You mentioned it's a 10-game homestand. 3 this weekend with the Tigers. 4 with Tampa Bay starting Monday through Thursday. And a week from tonight, the Los Angeles Dodgers are here to open a 3-game set.
Only time on the year the Astros will see the Dodgers.
There's the pitch mix for Simon, who is 2-0 against Houston. Almost hit Lowry with that one inside. And he's struggling here to find his spot. 2 balls, no strikes after a 4-pitch walk to Correa. 6 straight balls.
Just yanks this fastball and the dance is on.
McCann out to try to help him through. And Ash, you've been in this position so many times. The first inning can be the vulnerable time for a lot of starting pitchers.
It's odd too because the guy throws a load of pitches out in the bullpen, allegedly trying to throw strikes while getting loose. And then you hit the hill. You've got 8 warm-up tosses. It's about trying to find that zone and being ready for pitch 1. And sometimes you're not even ready for inning 1.
Lowry takes and it's in the dirt for ball 3. Now 7 straight balls have come out of the right hand of Alfredo Simon. The Astros are 3rd in runs scored in the American League with 502. They're 4th in drawing walks. They split the 4 games in Detroit earlier this season.
That was a Tigers team that had designs anyway on winning.
Left fielder Davis makes that play for out number 2. Yeah, the Tigers came out of the chute quickly this season. They won the first 2 of that series in May from the Astros. The Astros rebounded to gain a split by winning games 3 and 4.
I don't think Tigers fans or the organization would have believed at that point that they were going to sell off and lose the likes of David Price on their roster before this year was out.
Carlos Gomez, with a .258 average, has 9 homers, 47 runs batted in, .234 as an Astro. Carlos sat out the Wednesday afternoon game. He banged into that wall Tuesday with a spectacular catch, and his knee was a little swollen and sore. Feeling good again tonight. He has excellent numbers against Detroit pitching, 6 for 13 this year with a homer, 4 runs batted in. That's strike 1. Gomez 3 for 10 against Simon. Big weekend here in Houston with nice crowds expected. Tomorrow before the game with on-field ceremonies, the 2005 National League Championship team will be honored. Many of them are here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. There will be a luncheon tomorrow. There's a press conference for season ticket holders where they can ask players questions. And it should be a really good day overall. First 10,000 fans who came through the gates tonight got t-shirts commemorating that 05 team. That terrific run to the championship. What an exciting time that team was about to have. About this time in that season, it got really hot. Ground ball, and Iglesias gets it to second for the force play to Kinsler. No runs a hit, 2 men stranded, and no score after 1. Box showing you tremendous differentials between home and road winning percentages. The largest among all postseason teams belong to the 87 Twins. They played .691 baseball at home, .358 on the road, a difference of .333. The 2015 Mets are in that category, as are the 2015 Astros. Now, if these two teams make the playoffs, they'll fit in right behind the Twins if their percentages stay the same.
You know, I find that kind of intriguing. The 61 Yankees were known as a powerhouse in baseball, and yet that sizable difference between home and road success.
Yeah, we have the numbers behind that for you. Victor Martinez, the switch hitting DH, leads it off here, and he moves back from strike one. Victor, 244 hitter with 9 homers, 48 runs batted in, and has come back from a leg injury this season. The Yankees in 61, Ash, had an .802 home winning percentage.
Wow. No kidding.
And on the road, very decent, .543, but still .259 difference.
So they won 4 out of 5 games and then some while playing at home that year.
That was a great team. Keuchel delivers outside at 1-2 to Victor Martinez. He and Jose Altuve battled to the final day of the season to decide the AL batting crown last year. And Victor wound up finishing second to Altuve's .341. Victor hit .335.
Boy, he put on quite a run down the stretch.
That was so much fun to watch those two guys battle. And Altuve had a nice lead, just refused to take a day off and sit on that lead, Ash.
Well, that was the day, if fans remember, in New York with the Mets. Is Altuve playing? Isn't he playing? Word is he's not playing. No, he says he is playing. And he went out there and got a couple of hits and won the title.
Fly ball over toward the right field corner. Tucker reaches over and in foul territory. He makes it out number 1. Good coverage by Tucker.
And let's take a look at Super Bowl replay, brought to you by Mattress Firm. There's the fly ball down the right field side by the guy who wound up second in the league in batting last year and feeling for the wall and still making the play. Preston Tucker, a guy who's been more accustomed to playing left field, but he's moved back and forth pretty well here for the club in the last month.
Sure has. J.D. Martinez, who's certainly found a great home in Detroit, takes strike one, and he has hit 30 home runs. He's driven in 75. with a .287 batting average for J.D. Martinez. Tigers picked him up off the scrap heap. He had been a AAA for Houston and then signed as a free agent with Detroit and wound up hitting .315 last season. 23 homers, 76 runs batted in, and now just exploding this year with the 30 home run season.
I recall with the Astros, he had what I would refer to as a rather funky kind of bat laid off stance, and now much more classic style.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you credit for the difference in the change, but a lot of people have suggested Miguel Cabrera is the big difference maker.
Strikeout number 3 for Keuchel.
Turns to off speed, drives it in the dirt and gets the swing. That's one thing Keuchel gets an awful lot of, is that deception in the speed, and you can see Martinez way in front.
Now the third sacker, Nick Castellanos, 23 years old. He takes in their strike one for Keuchel on a .240 hitting Castellanos with 11 homers, 51 runs batted in. He has hit southpaws extremely well, .333. But he chases there, and it's 0-2. Keuchel and Colin McHugh are both similar in the way they read swings, and as the game progresses, they really make quick changes on the fly, Ash.
Great ability to not only make the changes you're talking about, but the changing of speeds and directions of the baseball.
1-2.
And I don't think Colin gets enough credit for what he does and the way he has brought victories to this Astros team.
Colin will be up tomorrow night against Justin Verlander in a 6:10 start. Big night tomorrow night with the ceremonies on the field. That's a liner out into left center field, a looping hit. First base runner, and on the 1-2 pitch, Castellanos delivers. Omar Vizquel is the first base coach.
Off speed breaking ball, waiting just enough, almost tying himself up a little bit to drop the little soft liner into center field, was Castellanos.
He's aboard, and James McCann will follow. McCann had a big series against the Astros in Detroit. Overall a .281 hitter, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in. He too has tattooed the ball against southpaws. He had 5 hits in that series against the Astros, including a homer. And there's strike one, and that was a game-winning homer in the 11th inning off lefty Tony Sipp back on May 21st this year.
I think the Tigers at that time were still trying to figure out who McCann was, but again, he's kind of taken that job and running with it now.
He swings, and it's 0-2.
He's also confronted teammate or teammates in the dugout and made sure that guys play the game right. Kind of a hard-nosed fella.
Yeah, we saw the highlights of that little confrontation with Iglesias and McCann a few days ago. A little pushing in the dugout. It's 1-2. And it was never really brought to light for the media exactly what caused that. There was speculation that Iglesias had not dived for a ball up the middle, or had not thrown to first when he got the force out at second. He had to stretch toward the outfield. Didn't try to throw to first to complete the double play. Could have been that. Whatever the case, McCann took issue and brought it up with him, and it was not well received. He struck him out. Number 4 for Keuchel. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Coming up for the Astros in the second inning, Gaddis, Valbuena, and Gonzalez in a moment. We go to the bottom of the second inning. And it's Evan Gattis. He's playing left field tonight. Colby Rasmus has a sore left knee, expected to be back in that lineup very soon. Gattis played some left field in spacious AT&T Park in San Francisco. There's strike one. 17 homers, 60 runs batted in, 14 doubles and 8 triples for Evan Gattis. He leads the team in runs batted in with 60. Wow. That one comes out of the hand high, and it's 1-1 for Simon. Simon has thrown 8 wild pitches. He's hit 1 batter. Batting average against him is .276. Gattis with a broken bat bouncer hits it to Castellanos. Long throw from behind third in the dirt. Cabrera takes care of it. 1 out. Bart.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, fans, make memories at an Astros ball game with our family-friendly activities at every Sunday home game presented by Kroger. The next Sunday home game, obviously, is day after tomorrow, August 16th, when the Astros take on these Tigers in the series finale. For more information, go to Astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. And I would do it quickly because these weekend series are drawing some great crowds, guys.
They really are. Thanks, Bart. Legends weekend. A lot of the legends are here getting ready for that. Luis Valbuena is the batter. That's strike one to Valbuena. 21 homers, his career high. He leads the club. He's driven in 43 with a .212 average. 3 for 16 for Valbuena against Simon with a homer. The infield shifted drastically around, playing him to pull. He fouls it away, and it's 0-2. Iglesias is way over on the first base side, and now with 2 strikes, Castellanos is going to move way off the line.
As a left-hand hitter, when you swing with the uppercut and hit it on the bottom part of the bat, almost always you'll hit it to the right side of the infield.
Valbuena moves his feet, and it's 1-2. You saw perhaps his numbers on the road trip, 364 for Valbuena.
As you watch Miguel Cabrera during the course of the game in the series, he's very different. He drops the barrel of the bat and puts it straight through the strike zone. The ball goes in all directions.
That's fouled away. While the Astros were going 2-7 on a road trip, over that same stretch of games, the Angels were 2-7. Angels rallied to win a big one last night against the Kansas City bullpen. That's rare. And the Astros lead over the Angels is a 1.5 games for A.J. Hinch. Texas Rangers trail by 5. Well, we had some legends around the batting cage today, Ash. Nolan Ryan's here with Ruth this weekend. Craig Biggio is here this weekend. Brad Ausmus will be a part of the festivities pregame tomorrow as well. Lance Berkman is down there. And that one does not go the Astros' way. It's a strikeout as the appeal went to Jim Wolf, and it's strikeout number 1 for Simon.
I saw Shane Reynolds, and yeah, it's nice to see some of the guys around. But you can see that bat gets out there too and beyond the front end of the plate, and that's a swing in my book.
Marwin Gonzalez will be battered next, and Gonzalez with a 7 home run, 22 RBI start to the season at .260 through 115 games. Tries to get it cranked up with 2 outs in the inning. A good series in Detroit.
I have the impression that Valbuena is going to be very surprised when he sees that check swing from the side up in the clubhouse.
Yeah, he probably will. In tight for ball 1. Simon facing a switch hitter who went 5 for 12 in Detroit with 2 runs batted in. This is Marwin's 12th start of the year at first base. Jason Castro is on deck. Anthony goes shading toward left center. In for a strike. That makes it 1-1. Left-handed batters have been very effective against Simon this season, hitting .309 against him with a .543 slugging percentage. He's been rough on right-handed batters. It's 2-1, so ideally, probably, we didn't ask A.J. Hinch about this, but he probably would have planned on Colby Rasmus in that starting lineup because of that breakdown, Ash.
And Colby's had some really big swings for the club. One that didn't turn out to win a ball game, but sure looked like it was going to in Oakland.
But it's that time of year, and the same thing happened Wednesday, as you and Blummer detailed, with Carlos Gomez sitting out. If the guy's got a sore knee, you don't want to cost yourself a week or 10 days of using that player. Let's make it one game and get him back the next night.
Of course, one guy sitting there in that shot that's missed a lot more than one game, and the Astros clearly need him back, George Springer.
Well, the media certainly gathered around his locker before the game, and he is now, even though he hasn't played since July 1st, hopeful after a good doctor's report today on the broken bone in his right wrist healing. So he'll be able to ramp up his baseball activities.
Yeah, it's now not so much about if, but when.
It's in for a strike, and it's 3-2 now to Marwin Gonzalez. The Astros have not harped on the injury theme, but certainly the loss of Springer has been a major one. Marwin's been very valuable this year, filling in at different positions because of injuries. That one back to Simon. Turns out to be out number 3. And after 2, there's no score.
For Name That Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. You know how it goes. We give you some clues. You tweet us possible answers. A little bit later in the game, we'll let you know who this is. Here we go. Originally drafted as a second baseman, he was acquired from Tampa for our own Jeff Blum, and he began his career as an outfielder. So think it over, shoot us some tweets, and we'll have the answer for you a little bit later in the game. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Correa jerseys are abounding here at Minute Maid Park. We go to the third inning, scoreless game. Jose Iglesias, the leadoff man, with Correa at shortstop for the Tigers shortstop. He looks, and there's strike one of the Cuban-born shortstop, a .304 hitter. That's 8th best in the American League. With 2 homers, 21 runs batted in. He has 10 steals. Corner infielders in tight. He slashes a liner to right. Preston Tucker taking care of out number 1.
Well, that's just a glimpse at Iglesias, a guy who has put together a very good year with the bat and otherwise for that matter. But this guy can swing it. And you'd have to say that National League, or rather the American League batting race, could be an intriguing one down the stretch.
Could be fun to watch, as it was last year. Anthony Gose steps up. He was briefly Astros property in the Roy Oswalt trade with the Phillies in July of 2010. He's showing bunt. There's strike one to Gose. Speedy outfielder, strong arm, 255, 2 homers, 18 runs batted in for the 25-year-old Anthony Gose. The Astros then flipped him after getting him from the Phillies to Toronto for Brett Wallace in that deal.
You talk speed and throwing arm for an outfielder. This guy is right among the very best.
Marwin Gonzalez takes care of out number 2.
Dallas Keuchel's had a lot of success statistically against left-hand pitching, or hitting rather, this year. You see the batting average, 135 against lefties. And you kind of look at recent seasons, 2013 on the left on to 2015 on the right, and you see the increased usage of the fastball versus the slider. Slider is tailing off in terms of the usage, and along with that usage of the fastball, much more success.
Preston Tucker runs out of room. Foul ball, strike one.
Of course, when you talk Dallas Keuchel, you can be talking about a sinker, a four-seamer, maybe even a cutter mixed in, that can all be talked about as fastballs. So he's got that assortment that Brownie was talking about earlier.
Keuchel has been absolutely magnificent here at home, especially, giving up 12 earned runs in 12 starts. That's out to center field. Gomez. That makes it a 1-2-3 third inning, and the game remains scoreless. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B. Food is flowing tonight. It's going to be tasty. Fireworks after the game tonight. The low temperature tonight in Houston, Ash, according to the forecast, will be 80 degrees.
And I saw you brought your coat, so nice thinking ahead.
Yeah. Were you guys cool in San Francisco during your week-long stay?
It actually turned out to be rather pleasant, and the day games very nice. So yeah, it was a nice stop in that regard.
No score. Here's Jason Castro in the last of the third. There is strike one for Simon. Castro, a .213 hitter with 10 homers, has 29 runs batted in. 5 left-handed hitters in this lineup tonight for A.J. Hinch against Simon. Castro often hits the ball to left center field, and that's the way Gose is shaded tonight. 1-1. Simon's been tagged for 14 homers this season in 125 innings. That's a shot, but the shift is on. And that turns out to be out number 1. That's the third baseman, Castellanos. And that's the way the Tigers do it. They put him all the way out in shallow right field.
You know, putting the third baseman over there just entirely messes up the throwing of the baseball around the infield following the out. I have to tell you. That was a nice looking at bat there for Jason Castro. Really intriguing for me that he hits a ball right into the shift when he's such a good hitter of the baseball to left field.
Yeah. Altuve led off the Astros first on a 2-1 count with a single to left. He has the only Houston hit. And showing Bunny looks at ball 1. Well, you know the old saying, Ash, you heard it many times when you were playing, when a guy would try to hit the ball back through the middle, he'd hit it right to the pitcher, and somebody would say to him, that's only where the pitcher's been stationed for the last 150 years, right?
Yeah, and of course you hear that about every time you hit a line drive somewhere that you get that same answer. George Springer said there were no hits up the middle earlier this year when everybody was trying to get him to do that. But then suddenly when he started hitting some balls to right field, there were hits all over the place.
So now what do you say to Jason Castro when he hits the ball to right field and you say, well, there's the third baseman?
You know what I say on that at bat? Don't worry about it. That was a really good at bat. You keep having at bats like that, and everything's going to come around.
It's 2-1 to Altuve.
And he'll still be mad, as would any other major league hitter after hitting a ball like that for an out.
Yeah, that's why I think there's more frustration now than ever among the hitters because of that very reason you just presented.
Of course, you're seeing more and more of the hitters start to hit balls through the other side now. And I don't know if that's become a trend or just a fluke, but I think at some point it's going to become a bit of a trend in terms of working to go the other way.
Well, there are more ground balls being hit now the last several years by major league hitters, and they're turning into more outs because of the shifts. Altuve puts that one out of play. Toward Keuchel's corner. Every night Keuchel pitches at home. Keuchel's corner is available. You see those fans with the beards and the t-shirts down in that section. An artsy shot with the beard.
Because it's a great time of the year in Houston, Texas to wear a full beard.
Yes, if you're going to grow a beard, do it in August in
Absolutely.
Houston. It's 3-2 to Altuve. The Astros have won 14 of their last 16 games at home. They've lost 15 of their last 18 games on the road. Crazy team this year. Frank Trevino's down there, Keuchel's corner.
Got a bearded camera.
Well, naturally, he's the only one of our camera crew allowed in Keuchel's corner. A beard is required to go down there. Ground ball, Castellanos. Out at first. Boy, they might appeal that play. Here comes A.J. Hinch. Fans don't like it one bit. Altuve.
Jose didn't like it.
Well, let's see. He hasn't shown any reaction yet.
Yeah, the really intriguing part is watch Castellanos get rid of this baseball. He doesn't delay one bit. Yeah, we don't get to quite see it, but that should be overturned.
Yes, it should.
You don't mess with Altuve going down the line, and Castellanos didn't mess and still didn't get his man.
Well, he had that problem with the hop, didn't he? He
might have held him back, yes.
Right, he laid back a little bit.
But once he took the baseball, there was no hesitation. And that's the reputation Altuve has, and it's a great reputation to have. Watch him getting rid of the ball. That is hustle to do it. But you're right, Brownie. It's that second hop for third baseman. Do you challenge it by charging and taking the short hop? or do you stay back?
And now that freeze frame is up on the big scoreboard, El Grande, and the fans are reacting to it. The baseball is not yet to the mitt of Cabrera, and Altuve is stepping on first. Another point, Ash, you can speak to this. On that swing, Altuve was reaching out. He was a little off balance. That actually aids him in getting to first base a little bit quicker.
It aids right-hand hitters.
Yeah.
And that's why I think sometimes, and I'm not the only guy who feels this way that played the game, right-hand hitters can have an advantage when they swing at that pitch. They're already leaning in that direction. And no crossover needed at all. Altuve gets another knock.
37th two-hit game for Altuve. And he's aboard for Tucker now.
Yeah, but he just had his uniform top pulled out of his pants by the first baseman. What's going on there?
Delay of game. That's an 8-yard penalty on Miguel Cabrera. That's good stuff. Tucker bounced out in the first inning to Cabrera. Correa's on deck. Altuve is going to try to steal second. He doesn't want Cabrera messing with him at first anymore.
Must be quite a relationship. Cabrera, not even a smile after yanking the uniform out, and Altuve acting like, what in the world are you doing?
There's no way that Cabrera is going to take the field and not have some fun.
Yep. I'd like to see him and now I get the Texas Ranger third baseman, who I love, Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the two of them play together. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, you're going to get in. What are you doing? Wait a minute.
This is the first of 13 straight games for the Astros. They'll be going to Yankee Stadium for their next road trip before they get a day off after those 13. Pretty close play at first base with Altuve diving back.
Cabrera reacted like he thought he might have gotten an out there. Put a left-handed first baseman there and you've got an out. That becomes awfully close, doesn't it?
Well, the Astros faced Simon earlier this season, and he gave them 2 unearned runs in 7 innings, beating them in Detroit 6-2 against Colin McHugh on the 22nd of May. His career ERA against the Astros is 1.10. Last year he won 15 for Cincinnati with a 3.44 ERA, and he's working on Altuve again. Big weekend in Toronto, Ash. The Yankees and the Blue Jays.
And don't tell me they're not scared of New York about the Blue Jays coming in.
Well, that is a series to watch.
I say about the two teams meeting up is what I meant to say.
Right. And the Blue Jays are really on a roll. 11 straight wins for the second time this year. It's the first time since 1954 that a team has had 2 11-game winning streaks in a major league season.
Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. So what kind of losing streaks have been involved?
Yeah.
Because it took the Blue Jays a long while to get over that 500 mark.
Well, remember when they left Houston after being swept? And now they are a totally different team.
Might have been that series between the Astros and Blue Jays up in Toronto that made some difference.
3-0 now. Yeah, it might have been, and certainly now a lot of eyes are on Toronto with the acquisitions of 2 of the best players in the game. Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop has done everything they had hoped so far, with their fingers crossed that he'll stay healthy. And David Price, of course, has done well. This is the 5th 3-ball count for Simon. He's up to 44 pitches for the night, as you can see. And for a strike, and it's 3-1 to Tucker. McHugh and Verlander go at it tomorrow night at 6:10, and then Sunday at 1:10, it's Mike Fiers and Matt Boyd. The Tampa Bay Rays, very much in contention for a wild card berth, will be here for a 4-game set starting Monday night. One pitch fouled away by Tucker. Gates will open early tomorrow at 3:30 with a big crowd expected. And a lot of folks want to get here early and see those pregame festivities. The players will be coming out from the right field gate in automobiles and out to the home plate area to be honored. Altuve takes off. There's a bouncer slowly hit, and it's foul to keep the count at 3-2. Great to see a lot of the guys coming back we've not seen for a few years. Actually, hard to believe it was 10 years ago, isn't it?
The World Series year, the White Sox won it, but it was quite an Astros club.
That was very much a second half team that year. That team only spent 4 days in first place all season.
Amazing.
Got the wild card berth, but 11 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL Central that year.
Roger Clemens, Andy Pettit, Roy Oswalt, Brad Lidge in the pen.
And yet with that team, they started the season 15-30.
Hard to believe.
Altuve takes off. There's a pop-up. He'll have to put on the brakes and get back to first. Cabrera in with the grab. 2 outs. Bart?
Thanks, Bill. Hey, here's a great deal. Kids tickets are free for the Rays versus Astros games on August 17th to the 20th. Bring your family to Minute Maid Park and get up to 2 free kids tickets with the purchase of 1 adult ticket in select seats. For more information on this great deal, go to astros.com/kidsfree or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Free is pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah. Free is very, very good. Here's what Altuve was doing. He was monkeying with Cabrera. Got him back.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
You should get the Nobel Prize for that one.
I'm pushing for it, Brownie.
Carlos Correa drew a walk on 4 pitches his first time up. There is strike 1.
This guy's pushing for some awards.
Slow-moving game when Simon's on the mound. Fast-moving when Keuchel is pitching. So 2 opposite ends of the spectrum for these 2 starting pitchers. Altuve started to make a dash when that ball rolled away from Simon. And he quickly reversed.
Well, they talk about cars and getting up to 60 in 2 seconds. Doesn't take Altuve that long to get to 60. And then the brakes go on. Love the smile and great way to play the game.
Here's a question posed by Phil Boudreau. Can Correa win a silver bat this year?
I say yes. Now he's got some tough competition. By the way, Xander Bogaerts for the Boston Red Sox. Iglesias for the Tigers.
Altuve takes off. Here's McCann's throw and the tag. Not in time. Stolen base number 31 for Altuve. And the count goes to 1-1 on Correa.
Beautiful work by McCann. As he takes his pitch up, it made it easy to take the ball in the right hand and put it by the right ear and then throw immediately in a nice snap tag at second base. Watch McCann just as quickly as you can bring it up there and throw it. And he has been spectacular in throwing out runners this year. You better be Altuve good to be able to come up with that bag.
Now he moves over into scoring position with 2 outs. And Correa will take a shot at giving the Astros the lead here in the 3rd. Carlos looks at ball 2. 2-1. Carlos has a pretty elaborate preparation for games. It's been paying off. The pitchers had been throwing him fewer strikes than they were in the beginning of his major league career. And he says the hitting coaches here with the Astros have really helped him on recognizing which pitches to swing at and which ones to lay off. Dave Hudgens and Alan Zinter.
This is a furious pace being put on by Simon, isn't it?
He's not in any big rush. David Price is pitching tonight for Toronto, keeping the Yankees at bay. 3-0 after 6. At Rogers Center. That misses, and it's 3-1 to Correa.
Well, great hitters count. But great hitters don't just swing at anything in this count.
He will try to tunnel in on the kind of pitch he wants to swing at here. Jed Lowry on deck. Yankees are 2-7 against the Blue Jays this year. It's interesting that the Blue Jays went for it this year and the Yankees really did not in terms of trades for veterans. Correa takes another walk. 2 men on, 2 outs for Jed Lowry.
You know, well, I'll get to it in a minute. It's time now for the AT&T Rewind as we check out Jed Lowry in San Francisco. Had a big swing. Talked about Rasmussen, his home run. It was already 1-0. This ball hit right on the top of that awning and out of the yard. Jed Lowry with a big swing made it 2-0. The Astros would make that hold up and win a game to split the 2-game series against the Giants. But yeah, you need those big swings, and this team has lived and died with the long ball.
Lowry's 7 for 20 this season with men in scoring position. He had a 3-0 count with runners at first and second and 1 out in the first inning. Hit a fly ball to left field. And now another run producing situation for the cleanup man tonight. Strike to Lowry.
Your comments, Brownie, made me think about the Toronto Blue Jays and the way they put that club together now, assembled some guys, looks like a very talented team. May 14th, the Blue Jays came into Houston, and the Astros laid the wood to the Blue Jays. They didn't look like a championship team at the time. So sometimes the best of teams don't look that way all season long.
Kinsler to his left, on to Cabrera to end the third with no runs to hit. 2 men stranded. No score after 3.
the 4th. Legends Weekend, presented by Houston Methodist, continues tomorrow as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 2005 NLCS team. 10,000 fans will receive a 2005 commemorative NLCS tumbler, and a special pregame ceremony will take place before the game. For more information, go to astros.com/legends weekend or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. No score. Here's Ian Kinsler. And lining one into center field. He went for that first pitch from Dallas Keuchel here in the 4th inning and got a single. He's had 2 good swings tonight. He lined to Correa his first time up.
Dallas brings the first pitch fastball. Kinsler looking for the first pitch heater. And it adds up into a pretty solid base hit for Ian Kinsler, who's been red hot over the last month.
Kinsler with 8 steals in 13 tries is aboard for Cabrera, who struck out in the first inning. Cabrera 1 for 8 against Keuchel. And there's ball 1. Keuchel, though, has allowed only 2 stolen bases in 2 tries this season. Last year there was 1 stolen base attempt against Dallas all season.
That little slide step, it stops the running game.
And it's 2-0. Tigers are 5th in steals with 65 in the American League.
I think it's a great aid to Dallas Keuchel that he doesn't fret about running games. He doesn't wind up spending a lot of time throwing to a base. He just slide steps. It's done.
In many ways, he does simplify pitching. 3-0. He does not really give many gifts, does he?
Not a bit. To make you earn them.
He is not allowed a home run at home all season. Cabrera takes a 4-pitch walk, but he only has 1 ground ball out tonight, so that's a different kind of Keuchel we're looking at tonight.
On Miguel Cabrera, you just don't want to give this guy anything good to hit. And you see the first 3 pitches all trying to find that down and away corner, couldn't get there, and just never wanting to commit to that white part of the plate.
Victor Martinez bats next. Dave Clark, the third base coach, motioning out to Ian Kinsler. He's helping him with his lead. Altuve's trying to move in and keep him closer to the base. Victor Martinez is hitting .348 as a right-handed batter this season. And it's ball 1 to him. He fouled out to Preston Tucker. Ivan Nova started for the Yankees against the Blue Jays. 3-0 Jays, middle of the 7th inning. Foul tip makes it 1-1. J.D. Martinez on deck. Victor Martinez finished second in the MVP voting last year to Mike Trout. Missed a month because of left knee inflammation this season. Swings at that and goes to a 1-2 count now.
It's hard to lose this guy and Miguel Cabrera for a big chunk of the season and have things turn out well. It's a good breaking ball down and in.
Victor Martinez last year was one of the best hitters with 2 strikes in the count. He hit .337. In the dirt for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Tigers are second in total bases in the American League. And they're 5th in runs scored. They really have been deficient in pitching, though, with a 4.48 team ERA, ranking dead last in the American League. That's On by the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez into right. Kinsler coming home. Tucker with a high throw to the plate. And it's 1-0 Detroit. Marwin Gonzalez had a clear shot at it. Couldn't flag it down. And the Tigers lead it. And the RBI single by Victor Martinez.
And the Astros are fortunate that they don't see the Tigers with runners at first and third or even second and third with that throw coming in from right field. Obvious that it was going to miss the cutoff man, but Miguel Cabrera did not take advantage. This one just scoots on by. And if that ball is fielded by Margot at first base, very likely double play. It's not a good throw in from right field.
He was caught, and that ball rocketed off the dirt on the short hop. But it was really blistered, so he didn't have much time to move and try to affect the hop that way. There's ball one to J.D. Martinez. But if he had been able to pick it, and he did go down low to try to get that angle, it just skipped by him. It would have been a double play. In for a strike, and it's 1-1 strike. The Athletics lead at Baltimore. It's 4-3 in the top of the 7th inning. Two balls and a strike.
Guy's cell phone camera must not be working.
Bill Baptiste down there shooting photos. A lot of folks will bring their cameras tomorrow. And next Saturday as well when Craig Biggio is honored. 10 home runs to left, 10 to center, and 10 to right for J.D. Martinez this season.
I thought you were supposed to be consistent as to what you did, and he's just throwing inconsistency all over the place there.
How often do you see that kind of a spray chart?
Never.
That's ball. Whoa, it is strike two. And it's 3-2 to J.D. Martinez.
Did it catch the strike zone? Yes, it did. The problem is we just don't see it consistently called. And so when an umpire chooses to call it, it looks out of place.
Adrian Johnson has the plate tonight. Big 3-2 pitch coming with nobody out. 2 men on, 1 run in. And he got him on strike. So that previous call was awfully big. Strikeout number 5 for Keuchel. That could have changed around this entire game. We'll wait and see what happens next.
Yeah, you get yourself a ground ball for a double play now and get out of this inning with just 1 run against you. Otherwise, it was getting really deep. That might have been in the strike zone, not sure.
After the previous call, he really had J.D. where he wanted him. Nick Castellanos the batter now. And it's ball 1. Castellanos was a first-round pick in 2010. He's from Davie, Florida. Ground ball, Altuve with the flip. Correa on to first. 4-6-3 double play. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. 1-0 Detroit.
veterans here tonight. Jimmy Price and his buddy Brett Wrestling. But you're looking at back surgery, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd you do?
I'm doing a lot better now. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better.
You got to respect anybody that comes out here with a bad back, rehabbing from surgery and all that good stuff, right?
Definitely, definitely.
You guys longtime Astros fans?
Oh, yeah. I grew up in Galveston, so the whole life.
Outstanding. And where did you guys serve?
In the Air Force. I was in England for 2 years, Turkey, and then Arizona for another year.
And you?
I was stationed in New Mexico, and I did just about a year in Iraq.
All right. How's the back doing?
It's doing a lot better now.
Good. We want to see a bunch of cheering and jumping around when we rally here. Okay, guys?
It'll happen.
Hey, thanks for your service. We appreciate it. You guys are the fans of the game.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy yourselves. Brownie, back up to you.
Thank you, Bart. Foul ball, strike one to Carlos Gomez. 1-0 Tigers, but the big double play ball bailed out Dallas Keuchel. Now the Astros offense trying to get to work has been held to 2 singles through 3 by Alfredo Simon, shooting for his 11th win. And that one is a ball to even the count at 1-1 on Carlos Gomez. In Kansas City, the Angels lead the Royals. It's 1-0 in the top of the 5th inning. We have Jared Weaver on the mound against Danny Duffy. Angels rallied to win last night with a big flurry in the 8th and 9th. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Now they have lost C.J. Wilson, who is elected to have surgery. Bone chips in his left elbow. He's out for the season.
It's an intriguing story, at least the way we're getting it, that Wilson was the one that chose to move in that direction.
Foul back, 1-2. Well, what do you think it does to their rotation? They do have the young lefty Andrew Heaney, who looks awfully good, but he's relatively inexperienced. Wilson's a guy who's been through a lot of pennant races.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit weaker in the rotation without C.J. Wilson. I don't know that he's a lockdown kind of pitcher, but I don't think he helps his position with his teammates.
It's 2-2. Now there's a fine line sometimes with players in a pennant race, as is the Angels' plight right now. They are trailing the Astros by a game and a half. They don't have the strongest rotation in the American League. They lose one of their mainstays. Could he have gritted his teeth and gone through the season and then have surgery, or does he have to have it now? And that's a fine line that a player has to walk sometimes.
Yeah, from the way, at least, I understand it, that he was told that he couldn't further damage anything with the way the chips were positioned. And so I think that'll play for the teammates.
3-2 to Gomez now. Carlos has hit .234 since coming to the Astros in the trade, along with Mike Fiers, from Milwaukee. And fouls it back. Sometimes a player will press after he's been traded. Rangers are trailing the Rays 3-2. They're in the top of the 5th in Arlington, Texas. Nate Karns pitching for Tampa Bay against Perez, and Josh Hamilton hit his 6th homer in support of Martin Perez. Struck him out. Number 2 for Simon.
That is one hard sinker right there at 94. Watch the action on this baseball. Classic sinker, but at 94, that's special. Carlos Gomez isn't going to get cheated a lot.
Evan Gattis grounded to third in the 2nd inning. Including this game tonight, the Astros have 25 games left at home, 22 left on the road. That's strike one. No balls, 2 strikes to Gaddis. Red Sox are pounding Seattle 11-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning in Boston. Joe Kelly pitching for the Red Sox. They got some bad news on the health of their skipper, John Farrell. Off the plate, and it's 1-2. Kyle Seager hit his 17th bomb for the Mariners, but Mike Montgomery absorbed a 9 earned run in 2 1/3 innings pitched, shellacking tonight. Seattle's been coming on too. The Mariners had won their last 3 series. They got the no-hitter from Iwakuma. They could certainly be a spoiler in the AL West. Gaddis started the bat, and the appeal is made to first. He checked his swing on the Bill Miller call. It goes to 2-2. Pittsburgh and the Mets are tied 1-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Citi Field. It'll be interesting to see how the Mets handle their youthful pitching staff regarding how many innings they will let those starters accumulate this season before shutting them down. Just about everybody in their rotation qualifies except John Neese. 3-2 now. But they do have some outstanding arms, don't they, Ash?
Great young pitching staff, no question about it. And adding Yoenis Cespedes didn't hurt their offense either.
He has homered tonight, his second as a Met. So Detroit really giving up some major chips in the trade market. And really kind of a downer for their players, you would have to think, Ash, in their clubhouse. David Price says his goodbyes. Cespedes has moved on, and there's uncertainty. Alavila has taken over as the general manager. Brad Ausmus has been told he will be evaluated at the end of the season. Has another year on his contract.
I think everybody with the Detroit organization and their fans figured absolutely it's the best team in the American League Central and they will win the division. And it has not worked out that way. Good reason for playing the games each year. But you know, I said that about the Blue Jays earlier. I think it's really easy after about 50 games or so to say, well, this team just isn't good enough. They're not going to win it this year. That's where the Blue Jays were. But now look where they are.
Gaddis takes a stroll with a 1-out walk. That's number 3. And of course, Max Scherzer moved on through free agency as well. So Detroit has lost some glittering stars. Paul Bykowski is celebrating a birthday, and his wife Darlene. It may not be tonight, but nonetheless they're celebrating in their own fashion.
Who's directing this thing?
Adam's got it.
Adam is at the controls tonight. Luis Valbuena struck out in the 2nd inning. It's the Adam and Perry show this weekend. And there's strike 1 to Valbuena.
The Emmy-laden duo?
Oh, yeah. You know it. That 2-0 win you and Blummer and Julia witnessed on Wednesday was a rarity for the Astros this season. When they score 3 runs or fewer, their record is 10-44.
Yeah, the wins on the road have been rarities lately.
Fly ball outside the left field line, back into Keuchel's corner. Well, that's a little outside of that official section, isn't it? But still some orange shirts in that area as well. 0-2 to Valbuena.
Yeah, I think they've moved that section around a little bit. I think the section we were just looking at there was originally the Keuchel area, wasn't it?
I thought so. But what do we know, Ash? We're just here every game.
Learning that at least the I portion of we knows very little.
Valbuena takes it. It's 1-2. Bartolo Colon is pitching well for the Mets tonight. Jay Happ went 5 1/3 and left the game. Now we get the shift, and Castellanos will run from third base to right field. He doesn't have to do a whole lot of jogging before and after the game if he's going to be involved in a lot of shifts like this, Ash.
There are some scenarios where Evan Gattis could find himself safely into second and maybe have a chance to sprint to third.
Excellent point. Let's roll over, and Cabrera gets it to second, and Iglesias back to first to Simon covering. It's a 3-6-1 double play. After 4, it's 1-0 Detroit.
August 14th of 1979, Joaquin Andujar gets the complete game win and hits a 2-run inside the park home run in the process, part of that 2-1 victory over the Expos. I don't know. The question is, what side of the plate was Joaquin swinging it from, and which arm did he cover with his jacket that night?
That's right. He was known to bat right against right-handers.
Yes, yeah, and then turn around, bat left against the lefties. Get on first base and ask for the little one sleeve thing to cover his left arm.
One of the most unpredictable players in Astros history.
I'm going to give him the award right out of your grasp.
Yeah, go ahead. James McCann leads it off 1-0 Detroit. He struck out in the second inning. And of course, he's famous for that quote. Somebody asked him something, trying to get a perceptive remark out of Mr. Andujar one time. He said, "It just goes to show you that in baseball there's one word that sums it up. You never know."
That's it.
Line to Altuve on a broken bat by McCann. It's out number 1.
Well, you never know who's going to make the play. In this case, Altuve gets it done. Yeah, Joaquin was one very special teammate, I have to tell you, but he was also a very special talent as you watch splinters fly and the soft liner hauled in by Altuve.
Broken bat, and it's out number 1. He was a mercurial pitcher, wasn't he, Joaquin?
That would be one way of summing it up.
Did you catch him much?
Oh, yeah. Actually got to a point where I told him, don't worry, I'm not going to put signs down anymore. I don't want to get crossed up. You just throw what you want, and at least I won't be anticipating one or the other.
Always a comforting feeling to know that your pitcher has no idea what pitch you just called.
Yeah.
Iglesias takes it, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Anthony Gose is on deck. 3 hits for the Tigers, 2 for the Astros. All the hits in the game have been singles. It's 2-1. The Tigers were 90-72 last year, winning their division by 1 game. But it was Kansas City emerging from the AL Central to make it to the World Series, and the Royals are certainly looking like a runaway team in that division this year. That's rolled up the first base line, and here's a turn for second. Iglesias and Preston Tucker with the throw. He beats it for a double. Another broken bat. This one turns out well for Detroit this time. Double number 16 for the speedy Iglesias.
Yeah, this guy's done a heck of a job both offensively and defensively for the Tigers this year. Tigers need to check the quality of the wood they've been receiving.
Yeah. He is fast.
Yeah, he's been a solid shortstop defensively. Claim your stakes.
Yeah, a game of jarts has broken out here. And it's Anthony Ghost batting. Ghost grounded out in the third inning. You ever played jarts?
Jarts?
Yep.
No, I'm not familiar.
Oh, it's similar to what you just saw, sticking in the ground. You throw it this pointed thing and it sticks in the ground. Sounds like fun, but not when it's 102 degrees.
You know, I was just thinking it doesn't sound like much fun at all. So
it's an outdoor game.
You keep your opinion, I'll keep mine.
Your mom might get mad at you if you played it in the living room.
Indoors, it doesn't work so well, huh?
No. 1-1 to Ghost. Braves lead the Diamondbacks 3-1. They're in the bottom of the sixth in Atlanta. Julio Teheran has the lead. Iglesias is dancing off second. Bouncer high and into left field over Lowry. That's a tough luck break for Dallas Keuchel. A high bouncing single by Ghost with the third baseman in tight, and it's first and third, one out.
Yeah, generally speaking, when you're talking Dallas Keuchel, you love the fact that he gets a load of ground balls, but these last couple kind of unique. The Baltimore chop, huh? The one that if you were playing on an AstroTurf field, everybody would say, well, it's another AstroTurf hit, even though it never hit turf.
And Dave Clark, the third base coach, going through signs with runners at first and third, and Rajai Davis, the batter. Possibility of a squeeze. Snap throw to first. Perhaps a double steal.
You're going to earn your stolen bases against Keuchel and Jason Castro.
You'd have to think twice about a double steal with Correa's arm at second base. It's ball one.
Wouldn't say the bunt of some sort would be out of the question here with Rajai Davis.
He's speedy enough to beat out a lot of bunts and is as experienced as many in putting down a bunt, getting that ball down on the ground. So Tigers do have some options. Normally we don't think of them so much as a small ball club, but the way things are going, don't dismiss it, right?
You go 9-1 in this batting order for the Tigers. They've got as much speed as anybody would ever want to assemble.
Swing and a miss, and this time the bat takes off into the camera well. It's 1-1. Mike Brady had to duck.
Put a leash on that thing. You know, that's another game that doesn't work well inside the house. The old bat toss game?
No, not that well, unless the windows are open. And usually they're not in Houston. 2 balls and a strike. Dallas has been pitching right-handed hitters outside quite a bit of the time tonight. Looks like he's maybe just missing his spots out there a little bit, Ash.
Started very sharply in doing so, but I would agree that he hasn't come in much, if at all, this evening with the fastball.
And that one's foul. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Keuchel got a very big double play ball hit by Castellanos in the 4th inning to limit the damage to 1 run for Detroit. And that was his 17th double play ball on the ground this season. Rajai Davis is grounded into 5 double plays. He's from Norwich, Connecticut. Drafted by Pittsburgh in 01. There's a shot foul. Wow, that low bridge the runner at third there. Iglesias.
Thought we were good with each other.
Screamer.
Wow, that was a late duck too. Assume the burpee position.
Yeah, the downward dog position after that foul ball screamed over his head. Now it's 3-2.
There's the coming in that we haven't seen and no call, and maybe that's the reason for not coming in. Off the corner.
Big 3-2 pitch coming here with 1 out. Kinsler on deck. Grounded foul again. That's the 70 pitch mark for Dallas Keuchel. This is an extended battle. Davis versus Keuchel with a 1-0 Detroit lead. And 7 of Keuchel's starts here at home, he has not given up an earned run this season. And a swing and a miss. Got a strikeout for him. 2 outs.
If you happen to be wondering, with the runner at first base, no reason for the tag or throwing down to first. Well, that's a big one for Dallas. That's turned into an evening that has not gone smoothly, and yet just 1 run against him.
Castro in textbook fashion stops the baseball.
Boy, he's been good.
Now it's Kinsler. Well, he's had 2 fine at bats in this game. Line drive to shortstop, line drive into center field. He has scored the only run tonight. He drove in 92 for the Tigers last year. Ball 1. Miguel Cabrera's on deck. Kinsler's a .320 career hitter against Houston with 12 home runs.
It's the man you want to get, though. You don't want to get it to this fella.
Now it's 2-0.
Of course, then you fall behind 2-0, and not wanting to face Cabrera, there's the temptation to throw one right through the heart of the plate.
Yankees just got 4 in the top of the 8th. They lead Toronto 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th now. Fouled in, it's 2-1. David Price gave up 11 hits and 3 earned runs in 7 1/3. Really fascinating what the Yankees are doing. The opposite of what they've done in the past. They're bringing up kids from the minor leagues at a pennant race instead of trading for established value.
Yeah, July 31st, we weren't hearing about the big deals the Yankees were making.
It's 2-2.
Nice changeup to get that waving swing in front.
Fans are solidly behind Dallas Keuchel, who retired the first 5, but he struggled in the 4th inning, and here again in the 5th. He's needed a lot of pitches, now trying to end it. And it's foul back. Dallas is unflappable with men on base. Carlos Beltran hit his 11th homer tonight for the Yankees. Time is called. The game has slowed down quite a bit for Dallas here. He usually has one of the quickest paces in the majors.
First 3 innings just saw Dallas breeze through.
Little roller. Keuchel takes care of out number 3. He works his way out trouble here in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, 1-0 Detroit.
Going on around the major leagues. You see the Toronto Blue Jays leading in the East. We're talking American League right now. The Yankees suddenly behind the Blue Jays. Kansas City running away in the Central, and then the Astros with that 1.5 lead over the Angels in the wild card. It's the Yankees and Angels now seeming to hold command, but a lot can and likely will change over the next month and a half.
1-0 Alfredo Simon working to Marwin Gonzalez and throwing ball 1 high. Marwin grounded back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. Tigers have allowed at least 4 runs in each of their last 7 games, but tonight Simon has put a stop on the Astros through 4. That clips the inside corner for a 1-1 count with Castro and Altuve to follow in the Astros 5th. Kansas City's taken the lead over the Angels 3-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th at KC. Mike Scioscia was called out by David Robertson, the closer for the White Sox, a few games ago. Scioscia was out arguing in front of home plate, and Robertson could not warm up because Scioscia was blocking his way to the catcher.
What do you say to the opposing skip?
Not sure. Get out of the way would be appropriate, probably.
Probably.
3-1. Well, I guess you could always warm up with him standing there. That might make a point.
Base runners in the National League used to try to use that line to Socia when they were coming to home plate. Didn't work.
No, it didn't. He resembled a concrete wall.
He was pretty darn good at that.
Was anybody better?
You know, Johnny Bench was great. He would block the plate. What Socia would do was tackle you. He'd just come out there and, like a middle linebacker, take care of business.
That one gets through the left side. Marwin Gonzalez on a 3-1 pitch, singles. And that's hit number 3 for the Astros. Good way to get the home fifth started. We go to Bart Ennis.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, the Astros and AT&T are partnering to celebrate back to school with a food drive benefiting the Houston Food Bank's Backpack Buddies program. As part of this initiative, the Astros' wives and girlfriends will be collecting non-perishable food items here at the ballpark Sunday the 16th prior to the ball game. Fans can also donate at any of the 70 Greater Houston AT&T retail locations from Saturday, August 15th until Friday, August 21st. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Bart. Jason Castro, the batter. He grounded to third in the third inning.
Did you get a peek at that blue Astros cap?
Yes.
That was sweet.
Very, very nice. We need to check into those. Ball 1 to Castro. In that Royals-Angels game, 3-1 Royals, bottom of the 6th inning, as we mentioned, in Kansas City. Danny Duffy has pitched well through 6. And Jared Weaver has given up 2 earned runs through 5 1/3. Eric Hosmer hit his 14th homer. He has unleashed the beast this year. He's hitting some long home runs.
Taking a run at the batting title.
1-1. How does the batting title shape up right now?
Well, start a play tonight. At some point. I'm not even sure how this site handles it. Prince Fielder has the lead at 327. Jason Kipnis 326. Nelson Cruz, who has reemerged, 324. Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, he's at 318. So, yeah, there's a list of guys. If Altuve could get red hot, there's just no telling if he might be able to get back in there.
Miguel Cabrera won't have enough plate appearances to qualify, will he?
He may if he plays every game here on out. I'm not sure.
That's ripped on a line to the right field corner. One hops the wall, stays in play. Marwin Gonzalez is going to be stopped at third on a double by Castro. Nobody out, second and third. 15th two-base hit for Castro.
Okay, so I said of Jason Castro the first at bat tonight as he was thrown out with a one-hop rocket between first and second. Stay with it because that was a really good at bat, and this one is as well. He gets the off-speed pitch right through the heart of the plate, rams it down the right field side. And then I thought a nice job by Gary Pettis getting way down the line toward the plate to give every shot to the chance for the run, but eventually holding up Marwin Gonzalez. So the Astros have set it up nicely here. But you can see no third base coach near there. He was down the line.
Oh, Castro sets it up now, and Altuve's the batter. He's 2 for 2. Corner infielders are in close. They can make a throw to the plate on a ground ball to them on Marwin. Middle infielders play back. So Altuve will be trying to hit the ball up the middle. That's ball 1.
Did you notice that jarts are now illegal?
No. I didn't know anything about that.
That's a great thing about Twitter. You learn all about what's going on or not in the world.
What has this world come to?
You apparently still play that impaling game.
Next thing you know, drones will be illegal.
Imagine that.
And for a strike, and it's 1-1. You know, we talk about Altuve trying to hit the ball up the middle. That's no different than any other at bat he would have, right?
It was a kind of tries to duck under it, and that might be a bit high.
.84 pitches for the big right-hander Simon. Listed at 6'6", 265. 34 years old from the Dominican. Up the middle, Iglesias to his left. Run scores, out number one, tie game 1-1, and both runners advance, putting Castro at third.
Yeah, that's a great out right there from Altuve. As you say, scoring the run and moving the runner into third base. So one out now and a chance to jump ahead here in the fifth inning. Castro saw this ground ball back to his left, and that means go. And so when you've got to make outs, that's the kind you want to make.
Yes, sir. That's textbook hitting by Altuve. That's his 49th run batted in. The infield comes in now with a runner at third and one out for Preston Tucker. Tucker 0 for 2. Has not gotten the ball out of the infield tonight. Ghost is playing in right center. And a strike one for Simon. Carlos Correa on deck.
That bat was flying through the zone.
Yes, it was. You and Blummer have talked about that plane of his swing, and he has cranked out so many line drive hits this season.
Seen it vary at times, but when on, he can just drive it through that hitting area for a long time.
1-1. Really can drive the low pitch very well.
Especially the curveball, something off speed low. Got an unusual tendency at times, like that last pitch, flipping that right elbow up as he takes it.
This is his 250th at bat as a major leaguer.
Invaluable season in his progress.
Way up. 2-1. Indians lead the Twins 6-1. They're in the middle of the seventh at Minneapolis, St. Paul. At Target Field, Corey Kluber is dominating. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. Joe Mauer hit his 8th homer for the only hit off Kluber. Giovanni Urshela hit number 5 for the Tribe. Bouncer second. Good play by Kinsler on the short hop to the backhand side. 2 outs.
Nothing for Jason Castro to do right there. You can talk about trying to put the ball in the air all you want. That sinker's tough to get airborne, and Ian Kinsler with a very nice play. Actually charging the ball in the process, making it doubly tough for Jason Castro.
Kinsler takes care of that out, and now it's Correa. Correa has a pair of walks tonight. That's 10 ground ball outs tonight for Simon. He's out Keucheling Keuchel. Ball 1 to Correa.
What a nice thing to do in Keuchel's backyard.
No, it's not.
But he does have a very good sinker.
And it's been a nice reward after Dallas got out of trouble the last 2 innings to get this score tied again. 10 ground ball outs, as you see, from Simon. Correa looks at it. It's 2-0.
Is there a better guy in the major leagues to have at the plate in a 2-out man in scoring position scenario than Carlos Correa? .450 his batting average when he's hit in this situation. 9 for 20.
So to answer your question, maybe not.
I would suggest somebody has to be putting up some kind of year to be better than that.
Good. Off the plate, and it's 3-0. 92 pitches for the big right-hander, and the Astros have really made him work tonight, even though they only have 1 run. He has walked 3.
Is it possible that Brad Ausmus said in the clubhouse meeting with the Tigers before the game, this is the guy, Carlos Correa, we do not want to let beat us.
Quite likely. The way things have gone, yes. And you see it there. There's ball 4. That's the 3rd walk to Correa tonight. That seems to be the message that might have been passed along. That's 4 walks.
Houston Methodist helps us get to know Jed Lowry now. Favorite player growing up was Ken Griffey Jr. That's been on a lot of lists. Quality from another player that you really enjoy everything Miguel Cabrera does with a bat, not when he's grabbing uniform tops, and a hidden talent, photography. Jed Lowry's one of those guys like Randy Johnson now, taking a camera everywhere he goes.
Very talented photographer. Has his own website. Lowry 0 for 2 in this game. This is the 3rd time he has come up with a couple of men on base in this game. Hit a fly ball to left on a 3-0 count with 2 men on in the 1st, and grounded out with 2 men on in the 3rd. Carlos Gomez will be next. It may not be this inning. Lowry's hoping it is. There's ball 1 to Jed. That was great news you talked about earlier with George Springer working his way back. It has to give George a nice lift to know that he could be back in this lineup. Al Albuquerque is warming up. It may not be within 10 days, but at least he can start that work in earnest. He's been staying in shape, but couldn't do some things with his wrist.
Well, he hasn't even been able to throw, and that's a challenge. Of course, swinging the bat is yet to come for George. If I were taking my guesses, I would presume somewhere near the 1st of September.
The lefty is Tom Gorzolani. He has joined Al Albuquerque in the bullpen. Rosters, of course, can be expanded as of September 1st.
Of course, that means George has got to get on there before the 1st to be playoff eligible, right?
If he's on the disabled list, he's playoff eligible.
You can come back after the 1st
yes.
from that. Okay.
Yes. So anybody on the DL, and in fact it's advantageous to have that pool of players on the DL. There goes Correa. McCann's throw is not in time. So Correa, while waiting, stole his 10th of the year, and now Lowry will get a 3-0 pitch next.
Well, amongst the litany of things that Carlos Correa does well, it's run, and not just run, but that ability to translate speed into stolen bases. Very good.
Iglesias either was kicked or spiked, unintentionally, of course. Got his foot in the way. Out. Got a little spike on the area above the left ankle, it appeared, as he moved his leg. Now 3-0. 2 steals in the game for the Astros. And Correa just took advantage of that little lull to take off.
That was a little low
compared to some of the other ones tonight. Correa now 10 for 12 in steals. Lowry looks at it. It's a strike. The Astros have stranded 4, as has Detroit. So you see just about even on balls and strikes for Alfredo Simon.
97 pitches. I might have guessed much more.
Out to left center field by Lowry. A long run here for Davis. Davis way back. That one's off the wall. And now 2 runs have scored. Lowry's in with a double, and the Astros lead it 3-1. Castro and Correa came home. Lowry, in his 3rd at bat of the night with 2 men on, drives in both. Give him 16 runs batted in.
That's why he's hitting cleanup. This ability to make contact, swing it from both sides, drive the baseball, and come through in the clutch. Big job by Jed Lowry.
That's well played by Davis.
Yeah, that is such a tough area out there. Stolen base. I don't know that the stolen base was needed to score on that ball, Sure didn't hurt anything.
Absolutely made it easy to score that second run on the hit. The 8th double by Lowry. Carlos Gomez next. Fouling it for strike one. He is 0 for 2. That's the second double this inning for the Astros. So their work earlier to run up some counts for Simon, who's now at 99 pitches, seems to be paying off in this inning. And after the ground out by Tucker, the walk to Correa, now a 2-run double by Lowry, really helping the inning. A shot into center field. Diving. Here's Kinsler throwing from a knee. And it's out at first base. Spectacular play by Ian Kinsler behind second base to take a hit away from Gomez. But the Astros grab the lead with 2 runs on 3 hits. A man left. Here's the beauty by Kinsler.
Lead. Time now to name that Astro. We gave you the clues. Originally drafted as a second baseman, traded for Jeff Blum from Tampa, began his career as an outfielder. We're talking about Brandon Backey, a young man that grew up in this area, got to pitch for his favorite team growing up, pitched some big ball games for this team back in the day. Brandon Backey is the answer to all you who tweeted it in correctly. Congratulations. I think he'll be here over Legends Weekend, guys.
He is on the schedule for tomorrow. Thanks, Bart.
Come on, guys. Say it. He could really swing the bat.
He could. 3-1, the Astros lead it. Miguel Cabrera's the batter. He gets a breaking pitch, and it's strike one for Dallas Keuchel. Cabrera has struck out, and he's walked. Cubs beat the White Sox today, 6-5 at U.S. Cellular in Chicago. It's 8 straight wins for the Cubbies. It's 0-2.
Do Cub fans show up at the cell?
Only if the Cubs are playing.
Well, that's for absolute certainty.
Yeah. Otherwise, no. That's a well demarcated city, isn't it? For
it is.
Baseball interest.
It is that.
That just missed, and Cabrera takes the count to 1-2. Chris Coughlin hit a pair of homers for the Cubs, giving him 13. Close one there. Cabrera strikes out. Number 7 for Keuchel.
Oh, if you can do that to Miguel Cabrera, you got something intriguing going on.
That's a one-handed swing, Ash.
Yeah, this pitch is nowhere close to the strike zone, but it looks like it might be there when it leaves the hand of Dallas Keuchel. You just see too many hitters take a swing at that.
7 punch-outs, a good number for Dallas. Now he faces Victor Martinez. J.D. Martinez on deck. Victor singled in the Tiger run in the 4th inning. A hard hit ball past Marwin Gonzalez. Strike one. Keuchel leads Major League Baseball in ground ball to fly ball ratio. He's been getting those strikeouts tonight, though. Good number for him at 7 so far. In for strike 2. And he is back to that quick pace. Of course, he's had men on base the last couple of innings, but really in attack mode here now.
He's at the Keuchel pace. That's what he does, and it's beautiful to watch.
Good slick play by Marwin over to Dallas Keuchel for out number 2.
I like Marwin at first base. I think he's done a very nice job. One ball slipped by him tonight. Very tough play.
J.D. Martinez, he has struck out both times tonight. J.D. has really adopted this very successful hitting style, and he tinkered with various approaches when he was in the Astros organization. They drafted him in 2009 in the 20th round. There's strike 1 to him. A lot of his work has been all about getting that front foot down on time.
Dallas Keuchel has adopted a style of breaking balls to start hitters.
Yes, he has. Carlos Correa, high throw, safe at first. It pulled Marwin off the base. And Bill Miller made the call, and it would appear to be the correct one because Marwin had to leave first base to go up and get that high throw.
Carlos has had a few issues with some throws here recently. It's to be expected at times. He's got a big-time strong arm, and sometimes I think the ball just gets away on him.
You know what? He might have kept that foot on, Ash. It came off there, so it didn't appear that he got back down.
Well, he did everything he could to keep that toe attached, didn't he?
Yeah, he did everything in his power. Just didn't work out. That is an error on Correa, his 7th. And Castellanos is the batter. There's ball 1. Castellanos 1 for 3. Anthony Rizzo hit his 23rd home run of the season for the Cubs. Cubs and Astros are on a parallel path, aren't they?
Would seem so, yeah. A lot of good young talent.
Fly ball to right. Over toward the line, Tucker. In fair territory for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 3-1 Houston.
Sports, and we will thank one lucky fan by giving them a better view of the game with a new 40-inch HD television. Just follow us on Twitter at Root Sports SW now through August 31st and look for your chance to win. Visit rootsports.com for official rules. We're like, let's make a deal, guys.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be fun to see a winner. That is a very nice prize. Thanks, Bart. Evan Gattis comes up, bottom of the 6th inning. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Alfredo Simon's still in the game. Something of a surprise. There's strike one.
Did you call Bob Barker Bart?
Yeah. That's 101 pitches now for Simon, who gave up 2 in the 5th inning, or 3 in the 5th inning rather. On 3 hits, and that's a shot out to right center field. J.D. Martino's unable to prevent that from being an extra base hit. Gattis is going to try for 3 again. Here's a relay throw from Kinsler. He has another triple. Number 9 with a triple monster.
This is too good. This is simply too good. And you know the instant this ball came off the bat of Evan Gattis, he was thinking 3. This guy had 1 triple in his career prior to this season. He now has 10 in his major league career. No shutting it down now. That is beautiful.
He's coming out for a pinch runner. Wow. That's a little over the top, but nonetheless, they enjoyed that triple.
Chicks dig the 3-baggers.
9 3-base hits for Gattis. He comes out for the pinch runner, Jake Marisnick. You might wonder, is that because he's tired? No, it's because Marisnick will stay in to play left field, and we'll be right back. Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen. As the lefty comes in, Tom Gorzolani, a well-experienced southpaw.
With the experience of 11 seasons in the major leagues, 48 and 52 lifetime. This year, he has been touched up a bit in 32 games, an ERA at 6.39, and has allowed 35 hits in 25 and a third innings.
With that move, there will be a counter move from A.J. Hinch. He's pinch hitting. Chris Carter pinch hitting for Luis Valbuena, who was 0 for 2. Carter at 181 has 17 homers. He's driven in 48 runs. The infield is in. There are 3 infielders between second and third. Carter is 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter. That's ball 1 to him. 9 triples for Evan Gattis. He's getting up in Michael Bourne territory now.
Well, you knew back in spring training he would lead the team in triples. You just didn't know how many he would hit, right?
Foul ball. And that one will go back into the seats. And it's 1-1. No, if you had asked Who would have come up with Evan Gattis as an answer? Not many.
Who would likely have led the Astros in triples this year? I don't know. George Springer, I guess, would have been my guess.
Yeah, it would have been a good one. See how many George has. He has none.
Of course, that's why I guess in that direction.
2 balls and a strike. Who's second on the club?
Well, let's see.
Marisnick has 3. He's second.
He's the other guy I would have kind of shuffled around, but I wouldn't have been sure Jake would have that many at bats.
The Astros as a team have 14 triples, 9 of them by Gattis.
Yeah, you've got 1 from Rasmus and 1 from Jonathan VR, and that's it. You've touched on all of them.
So Marisnick stays close to third on a 2-2 count to Carter. And he struck him out. 1 out for Gorzelani. Marwin Gonzalez comes up.
That's a costly out, and you hope that you can overcome that out with Marwin Gonzalez coming through with something. He's been really good both sides of the plate, in particular the right side.
Now it's on Marwin to try to get this run home. Boy, the infielders are really close now. They're backing up a little bit. They're going to tighten it down and try to cut off this run at the plate. If Marwin hits a ground ball, he's 1 for 2. He looks for RBI number 23 of the season. Jason Castro's on deck. That is strike 1 for Gorzelani. As you saw earlier, just recalled, purchased from AAA Toledo prior to Sunday's game. He had been outrighted to Toledo July 8th. Spent about a month there. Tigers signed him as a free agent in January of this year. He was with Milwaukee last season. Tom, 35 years old. Made his major league debut against the Astros in 2005 when he was a Pirate. Started a game against Andy Pettitte. And the Astros were 1 up in the wild card race then. Bunted, and it goes up the first base line, and Marisnick will come in. That makes it 4-1. Marwin Gonzalez puts down a beauty for RBI number 23.
That is some high quality buntsmanship right there.
It's ruled a sacrifice.
Any way to get a run. Safety squeeze, I guess you'd have to say, on that play. I wonder if Jake even knew the bunt was a possibility. But the way Marwin squared there, you'd have to say that was a safety squeeze.
Yeah. Jake appeared to be creeping in as Marwin was squaring there. That's a big run and a 3-run lead now. With Castro batting, he has a double in 2 trips. And he tried to bunt his way on for a hit and missed. Strike 1 with the shift on. Why not? Tough lefty on the mound. He's 2 for 3 against Tom. Gorzelani's been the starter and reliever about half of each in his major league career. Isn't that mind-boggling, though? We're talking about tomorrow night's celebration of the 2005 National League Championship team 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, Tom Gorzelani was pitching that game against the Astros as they made their way into the wild card berth. They won that wild card by 1 game that year, beating out the Phillies. And it's a strikeout to end the 6th inning. 1 run scoring on 1 hit. The Astros lead it 4-1.
to you by Chevron. As we take that peek, it's Justin Verlander. He of the former MVP award and Cy Young award against Colin McHugh. Colin has much the better in terms of the numbers this year. Justin Verlander just 1-5. Colin McHugh, a 13-game winner. But he takes on the former Cy Young award winner. These are leaders in wins this year.
It's been quite a contest between Keuchel and McHugh. Keuchel shooting for number 14 tonight. McHugh will be doing that same thing tomorrow night. It's a 4-1 ball game, and we have changes in the outfield. Seventh inning arrives with Preston Tucker now in left field. He shifted over from right, and Jake Marisnick has stayed in after pinch running for Evan Gattis. Marisnick is in right field. James McCann takes, and there's strike one on a breaking pitch. McCann is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line drive to second. Alfredo Simon in 5 innings allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, walking 4, fanning 2. Little jam shot goes foul for Marwin Gonzalez, and it's an 0-2 count.
It's that fastball on the hands to the right-hand hitter that we were talking about earlier that Dallas simply wasn't using. He also, early in the game, wasn't using the breaking ball much. But here in the last couple of innings, that's been a starter pitch that he's thrown consistently for strikes.
Time is called. Astros RBI junior, senior, and softball teams have advanced to the 2015 MLB RBI World Series. That's into left field. McCann is aboard with a leadoff hit. 33,212 to paid attendance tonight. 6 hits now for Detroit. They love that triple, don't they?
Where does he stand in the league?
We're going to check on that. I believe he's second. But we will track down that information. Jose Iglesias is 1 for 2. He is second to Kevin Kiermaier of Tampa Bay, who has 11, Ash.
See that. And Adam Eaton, Rajay Davis, and Eddie Rosario of Minnesota, all with 8. So they're right behind the speedy, the fleet-footed Evan Gattis.
Fouled away by Iglesias. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't know. I've looked at this before, and I would have forgotten. I would not have named Kevin Kiermaier as the league leader in triples.
No.
And then that ballpark in St. Pete isn't designed for the 3-bagger, that's for sure.
You know who the career triples leader of the Houston Astros is?
I almost want to say Craig Reynolds, but wow.
Craig Reynolds is tied for 5th.
Triples leader all time.
He's in the ballpark tonight. Shale.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Jose Cruz had 80. Joe Morgan was second. Popped up. Correa in. 1 out. We go to Bart Ennis.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, the Astros invite you to celebrate the hard work and commitment of our nurses and healthcare professionals at Nurses Appreciation Night on Tuesday, August 18th, when the Astros take on the Rays. Enjoy a specially priced seat and an Astros scrub top for just $35. For more information, go to astros.com/nurses or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Anthony Gose is the batter. He's 1 for 2. Single to left field his last time up. That's that high chopping single over Jed Lowry's head. There's ball 1. Continuing on the theme of triples by Astros, Ash. Roger Metzger had the single season high by an Astro. 1973. 14 triples.
Yeah, he was the guy I was actually considering along with Craig Reynolds, but because I knew he had had a big year.
Steve Finley had 13 triples, both in 92 and 93. Jose Cruz had 13 in 84. Michael Bourne had 12 one year. So did Craig Reynolds. So did Joe Morton. Hey! Will Harris is warming up for Houston. So Evan Gattis has a shot at joining the likes of Metzger, Steve Finley, Cruz, Michael Bourne, Craig Reynolds, Billy Doran, Omar Moreno in the all-time top 10 of the Astros in triples in one season if he gets a few more.
Forgot about Omar being an Astro briefly.
That's a strike on a foul tip, and it's 2-2. That didn't go that well for Omar.
Well, he kind of became the first Nomar in the game at that point.
Oh, Nomar. Okay, that's funny.
Not along with Garcia Parra, obviously, but when he decided he wanted to be an Astro no more, he became
No More. Good stuff. Check swing roller. Lowry getting it to second. 2 out. Tuve gets the force play on McCann. 2 outs.
That's a pretty heady play by Lowry. That was going to be tough with that speed at first base. And though it was close at second, maybe no closer than first base was going to be.
That was good decision making. Altuve coming across the base, making that stretch toward the throw to help. 100 now for Dallas Keuchel. He had a 23-pitch fifth inning, but he got out of trouble there, leaving runners at first and third when he struck out Davis and got Kinsler on a comebacker. Now Davis 0 for 3, taking ball 1. The longest playoff drought currently belongs to Toronto. The last time the Blue Jays were in playoff was 1993 when they won the World Series.
But they went back-to-back 92, 93?
Yes. The Astros have the second longest playoff drought. Last time they went 10 years ago in 05. 2-0. The Mets haven't been since 06, and the Cubs haven't been since 08. But ironically, all 4 of those teams are looking pretty strong for a playoff shot this year.
10 years, I would generally say that's not a hugely long drought.
No. Pirates went, what, 21? They ended that a few years ago. That's a long drought. In for a strike, and it's 2-2. But now, of course, more teams make it in for playoffs.
Great location here from Dallas. It's about the extreme of that down and in corner.
And he gets a swing on a low pitch and strikes out Davis. No runs, a hit, and a man left. That is now 8 strikeouts for Dallas Keuchel. He leads it 4-1. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. It's a good Friday night here with 33,212. And the Astros lead the Tigers 4-1 at 7th inning stretch time. Fans have just been singing deep in the heart of Texas. Michael owns the Kittens. He has had trouble, though, in the 4th and 5th innings tonight to work through those jams. Here is Al Albuquerque. He's pitcher number 3 for Detroit in 50 games, 1-0 with a 2.98 ERA.
He's a 29-year-old from the shortstop factory, San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. Obviously, he didn't turn into a shortstop, let everybody down in the process. 5th year now in the major leagues.
They have developed a few good pitchers in that tiny town as well. And now he works the 7th inning with Jose Altuve leading it off. Gorzelani in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs, had no walks, 2 strikeouts. Altuve is 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight. It's up for ball 1. This Detroit bullpen has a 4.24 ERA. Pat Neshek is warming up for Houston. Albuquerque last pitched 3 days ago at Kansas City. It's 2 balls, no strikes from the 29-year-old veteran. He began his career with the Cubs. Then he was traded to the Rockies. Detroit picked him up as a free agent after the 2010 season. He has served the Tigers well. Had 72 appearances last year, 17 holds. And for a strike, that makes it 2-1. In Kansas City, the Royals lead the Angels 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Madsen has pitched 1 inning in relief of Danny Duffy. Roller back to Albuquerque. He juggles, recovers, throws, and there's the stretch by Cabrera. 1 out.
See the barehanded grab once Albuquerque goes down to make the play. So many times you watch the barehanded grabs and the throws will not be very accurate.
Preston Tucker's 0 for 3. The Rays and Rangers are tied 3-3, bottom of the 8th inning in Arlington, Texas. Lino DeShields hit his first major league homer. That's strike 1.
He's played very well.
Yeah. In fact, so well that their former center fielder, Leonis Martin, has been demoted to the minor leagues. When you and Blummer and Julio were in St. Petersburg watching the Astros in Tampa Bay right before the All-Star break, you talked about the bullpen usage of Pat Cash. As you see Neshek there in the bullpen, they've used Cedeno and Jeltz tonight. Carnes went 4 2/3. That was really one of the questions, wasn't it? How that bullpen would hold up the way they've been using it.
It was one we certainly posed. I mean, if you're going to bring them in the way they do, at some point you're going to need reinforcements. There's no way around it.
Jeltz leads in appearances. This is 56 for him. He's the top of the American League leaderboard. And that may catch up with that Tampa Bay club. But for now, that team is in the hunt for a wild card spot. Tampa Bay is 2 games out of the wild card lead in 3rd place. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they want their starters to go through the batting order twice and no more. Boy, that really makes life tough on the bullpen. That phone starts ringing really early.
It's hard to get wins going twice through the order.
They could have a bullpen man as a 20-game winner.
Tucker strikes out, 2 down.
It's good old-fashioned high something. Oh, really didn't act like a fastball.
Now Carlos Correa bats. We posed the question earlier, could he win a silver bat as the best hitting shortstop in the American League? Among all major league shortstops with at least 230 plate appearances, he is first in OPS at 882. He's also first in slugging, 541, and third in on-base percentage. So the answer to that question would have to be yes. Of course, it's interesting because now Troy Tulowitzki is an American leaguer. 1-1. How in the world would you make that decision on Tulowitzki and a silver bat for him when he only spent half the season in the American League?
I wouldn't give him the full credit.
Okay.
Xander Bogaerts, among shortstops in the American League, has the top WAR rating.
Iglesias is really slick at shortstop.
Wow.
And after 7, it is 4-1 Astros. Another outstanding night tonight. 7 innings, 1 run allowed. 35th straight start with at least 6 innings. 105 pitches, 72 strikes. And he worked his way out of some trouble along the way tonight, Ash.
Yeah, he pitched when it's all said and done quite well. There were the moments that felt like he wasn't totally in command, but he regrouped, as he typically does. Another Dallas Keuchel night, and I think the fans absolutely love coming and watching on nights when he pitches. And now Pat Neshek on his 50th appearance of the year. Some great numbers. 27 hits over 42 and a third innings. A whip of an insane .78. Well below the 1 mark. So that's about 3/4 runners per inning that he's pitched this year.
Ian Kinsler leads it off. He's 1 for 3. And strike 1. Neshek steaming it in over the outside corner. Keuchel has just been magnificent at home. He could be 11-0 at home this season. Before the game tonight, his home ERA was 1.26. 7 innings, he gave up 6 hits, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 8, had a huge double play ball in the 4th inning, hit by Castellanos. Alex Wilson warming up now for Detroit.
Well, that would be the standard night then. That's probably in that 1 1/4 range ERA. I don't know exactly.
Altuve gets underneath the pop-up. There's 1 out. So it would be a 12th straight win at home if Keuchel gets it tonight. And that would be 1 away from tying the club record set by Dr. Death himself, Danny Darwin.
No kidding.
Yep.
The doctor picked it up.
Well, we had to bring up his name because we found out Vicky Scott and Lori Doran are in the house.
Yes, they are, and they need to make their way on down here.
Well, they wouldn't want to hang out with us.
With you? Are you kidding me? It's a highlight at the yard.
Vicky can talk some baseball.
Can she ever?
Cabrera's 0 for 2 with a walk. Liner caught by Carlos Correa. Cabrera had barely dropped the bat when Correa caught it.
No charging necessary. Second line drive of the night that's been hit right at Carlos.
Victor Martinez drove in the Tiger run with a single to right in the fourth. He's 1 for 3. If things go perfectly for the Astros, they will have a 2.5 game lead on the Angels at the end of the night. Strike to Martinez. Angels continue to trail at Kansas City 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning.
It is a tough Kansas City club the Angels are up against.
Foul away, 0-2. Really a club that seems to be playing with an edge this year. Perhaps because, as you talked about, many picked Detroit to win the AL Central again this year. So the Royals players, according to some stories, didn't feel they got a lot of respect despite making it to the World Series last year.
Look, on paper, the Tigers' names look like the marquee names.
Got him, and that's a quick 8th inning for Pat Neshek. 4-1 Houston.
The #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. It's hard to believe there's more, but it says and more, guys.
There is more, Bart.
There's always more.
Yeah. More to come. Bottom of the 8th inning. Alex Wilson in for Detroit. 2-3. Couple of saves, a 1.72 ERA, and since the break, he is spotless, Ash.
There's always more if you call right now. 57 and 2/3 innings, 47 hits allowed, 30 year in the big leagues. And pretty solid on a team that hasn't pitched well.
Alex Wilson, an Aggie, as you noted there on the screen, was born in Saudi Arabia. Drafted in the 2nd round by Boston in 2009, 28 years old. Jed Lowry, first man to face him. He has the biggest hit in this game. That was a 2-run double in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. There's strike one to the cleanup man. It was tied 1-1 when Lowry picked a 3-1 pitch and hit it a long way to left center field for his 8th double of the year. That made it 3-1. The Astros tacked on a run in the 6th inning, a Gaddis triple, and a bunt by Marwin Gonzalez. Got run number 4 home. That makes it a 1-1 count for Wilson. Wilson got his 2nd win of the year Thursday against Kansas City with a scoreless 9th. In for a strike, 1-2.
Jeff Bannister's Rangers have taken the lead over the Rays 5-3 with 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still batting. It's 2-2. Kansas City 4, the Angels 1. They're in the bottom of the 8th in KC. Kansas City closer Holland really gave it up last night. Greg Holland was off with his location. The Angels jumped on him to get that win late. If you're coming out tomorrow, I want to take note of the fact that gates will open at 3:30 before the 6:10 start. That's earlier than normal. It's 3-2. Some special pricing. Bart has mentioned that for next week's games, the early week games with Tampa Bay here, especially to get kids 14 and under out to the ballpark free. Go check Astros.com for that. There's a fly ball over shortstop out into left center field, and Davis takes care of out number 1. Carlos Gomez is 0 for 3. Ian Kinsler made a very fine play to get him in the 5th. It'll be about a month before the Astros and Angels meet again. And a while as well before the Astros and Rangers mix it up. Gomez fouls at strike 1 with Jake Marisnick on deck. So the Astros playing this Central Division team. Detroit 2-2 against the Tigers. They're 9-14 against the clubs in the Central. And they move on with 4 against Tampa Bay from the AL East and cross over into interleague play next weekend against the Dodgers. Pretty good chance you'll see Mr. Greinke and Mr. Kershaw in that series. Not sure about their rotation because they do have a day off next week. No balls, 2 strikes. That is no day at the beach. Facing those 2 guys in a 3-game series.
Some lucky team is going to run up against that pair in the postseason.
Hard to believe the Cardinals have done so well against Kershaw. Fouled and it stays 0-2.
You know, he didn't have a great start to his year, but here in the last month and a half, 2 months or so, he's been the Cy Young Award winner again.
Yes, he has lit it up.
Problem for him, though, is he may have, as a teammate, the Cy Young Award winner.
That's a 1-2 punch that will rival any in baseball going into playoff baseball. Be interesting to see what Toronto would do. David Price, of course, would be the game 1 starter. They have a whole rotation pitching pretty well right now. Mark Burley.
Burley logically is that next guy. And they'll come at you with the knuckleball.
All right, Dickey's rounded into form this year for them. Drew Hutchison has had great run support.
He's the guy that wins games, but the numbers haven't been glorious.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Wilson pitched for Boston last season. He was involved in the Cespedes trade along with Rick Porcello. Gomez strikes out. He tried to snap the bat and did snap it over his leg. The frustration has been building for Carlos. Time to take the lid off the teapot.
Bo Jackson's just been called out here. How many times does it take?
That might leave a mark.
Yeah, that will leave a mark. You ever tried that?
Once at about age 7. That took care of that problem.
I hope that was one of those bats you got at the ballpark on a giveaway day.
It was a wiffle ball bat. wasn't that bad. Jake Marisnick with strike one.
If you ever consider doing that, make sure you've got one of those really thin-handled jobs.
Okay. You ever snap one over your leg?
No. No, I took a broken bat and tried to do it and failed.
How about banging it on the ground?
Oh, you can break it that way, sure. That's cheating.
No balls, 2 strikes. Marisnick at 224 has 5 homers, 21 runs batted in. It's his first plate appearance of the night.
You hit the big ball, you will break your bat.
How about a Nellie Fox bat, that bottle bat?
Not a chance. That thing wins in any battle, any universe.
That's a broken leg if you try it there. 1-2. Well, this is one of those sports that leads to those displays of frustration, but over the years, those pitchers who come in and punch walls with their pitching hand would like to rethink that after they go to the doctor.
Yeah, they never win that one.
Some teams install punching bags somewhere near the bench, correct?
I could see that. Yeah, I've heard of that in the past. I've never been a part of that, but I could see where that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Helmets, bats down in the runway.
Some kind of a rubber room where not a lot of damage can be done would be helpful.
Yeah.
This could be an infield hit from Marisnick. Castellanos can't get him. Infield single for Marisnick.
By the way, watching that play, how about the play by Iglesias?
Yes.
To end the previous half inning. My goodness, for the Astros, the Correa ground ball.
Yeah, that was really something.
They've got Omar Vizquel as one of their coaches as you watch Jake Marisnick pound out another hit for the Astros. But I'm sure Vizquel has had some talking to their young shortstop as to how to make that play. Very special.
That's 7 hits for the Astros now. Chris Carter, the batter. He struck out in a pinch hitting assignment with a runner at third. That's ball 1. Greg Holland is back on the mound for the Royals tonight, trying to close out the Angels. 4-1 Royals. Holland has the first 2 outs in the 9th inning. After getting torched last night, Ed Yost goes right back to him. Now McCann goes over. It's like an equipment problem.
As a catcher, you better have a second one ready to go.
Gene Lamont, he's a catcher. Former Astros coach, who can help.
You know, we used to, well, I shouldn't say we like everybody did it, but double lace those gloves.
Yeah.
So you could virtually get through a few seasons with never damaging the glove.
You know who's in town who can take care of that?
Stretch Suba, I saw before the game. Yes.
Came back for the big celebration tomorrow, the 05 team. He has stitched up many a glove.
Make you a lamp in the meantime while he's working on that glove.
You bet. Chad Qualls is warming up for Houston. Ooh, Marisnick leaning a little bit, but he got back.
It's not a bad time to run.
There's Qualls. Chad was a part of that 05 club. Marisnick takes off. There's a throw from the knees, and wow. It was right there on the mark, but safe at second. Marisnick went in. Looked like the ball hit him. The throw was a fine one, though.
Yeah, I like that spot to try to steal a bag. You get thrown out, so be it. Now you're in scoring position. You got a chance to add a little insurance here.
Boy, that was right out of Kinsley's glove.
It was.
But Marisnick went into the glove with the slide. That's his 15th steal in 20 attempts.
Mentioned earlier, McCann's had great numbers throwing out runners this year.
Slider makes it 1-2 now to Carter.
Certainly see why.
That was from the knees, too. 3 steals for the Astros tonight. That gives them 89 this season. Carter grounds to third and on by Castellanos into the left field corner. 5-1 Astros on a double by Carter. Well, Chris Carter gets his 49th run batted in. It's double number 12, and Marisnik's stolen base pays off.
Nice for Chris. Lost a lot of playing time. Good to see him come through.
Well, as you indicated, Ash, that was a good time to try for a steal. Marisnik was safe in doing that, and then he was able to score on the 1-2 pitch. So the Astros didn't have much going. With 2 outs, they got an infield hit, a steal, and then added on run number 5 in that fashion.
Jake's fun to watch run, too. He and George Springer, those long strides, and really pick up the ground.
Marwin Gonzalez has been a big part of this game. A single and a run scored, and then the bunt to get in that 6th inning run. Ball 1 spins him around.
That ball didn't hit Marwin, but I think it hurt anyway.
Yeah.
One of those that you think is going to hit you, and you feel the pain before it happens.
Exactly. Yankees beat Toronto 4-3 at Toronto tonight. It's 2-0. Ivan Nova the winner. He beat Aaron Sanchez. Andrew Miller got his 26th save. Well, the Blue Jays crowds have been terrific.
Goes back to the "you build it, we will come," or they will come, and they've built a ball club now in Toronto that looks like it might have a chance.
Alex Anthopoulos has made some moves that have really paid off. Yankees got 4 in the 8th inning. So there will be talk about that Toronto bullpen, although Price was charged with 3 of the runs. Two and 2 to Marwin Gonzalez. Fresno won last night. The Astros AAA affiliate over Albuquerque 10-4. The Fresno club has 70 wins this year. Corpus Christi has 74. And people are wondering about September call-ups. That's something that will be in the mix for Jeff Luhnow and A.J. Hinch to talk about. Popped up. Castellanos coming over, but he won't get to this. Oh! That's a catch that should have been made, Ash.
When that play presents itself, got to make the play.
This was not happening in that front row. Are those Tiger fans?
Yes, they are.
It's got to be an error.
In judgment or on the play?
Maybe both. It's been good the last 4 years, though. The Angels have lost 4-1 Royals in Kansas City. Duffy beating Weaver. In the dirt. 3-2 now. The Angels go to 60-55. If the Astros win, they will have a 2.5 game lead. Kansas City just rolling along 69-46. They're 40-20 at home. The Astros, if they win this one, would be 39-18 at home. They have the best home winning percentage in the American League. Shortstop Iglesias out into left field. He looks, and Davis is behind him with the catch.
1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. Moving to the ninth, the Astros lead by 4, 5-1.
Astros postgame presented by Houston Methodist. That's with Kevin Eschenfelder and the skip, Art Howe.
The Astros go with their closer, Luke Gregerson. They lead by 4, and it is not a safe situation. Gregerson coming in with 45 games under his belt, 5-2, 23 for 28 in saves.
It's been a solid year. There have been some glitches here recently, but for Luke Gregerson, very nice with the saves he's picked up. Filling a role that he had never really filled for much time in the past. And the ERA here in the month has risen a bit. Right now, not a bad time to lock it down again.
Matt Neshek had a 1-2-3 8th inning. J.D. Martinez is the batter here to lead off the 9th inning. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and he reached on an error. Infield shifted around for J.D. There's strike 1.
That was the let it fly swing.
Sure was. With 30 bombs, that has worked out very well for him this year. Gregerson nailed down the game in the 9th inning, 2-0. The Astros won it Wednesday at San Francisco. He retired all 3. He's the 7th pitcher in Astros franchise history to record at least 23 saves and 5 wins. Speaking of great jobs by relievers, Brad Lidge is in town. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Going to be fun tomorrow to see a lot of these guys who have not been here in a few years.
Need to stack him up with Billy Wagner and Octavio Dotel. Ooh, that was the most daunting back end of a bullpen I've ever witnessed.
That was one of the best of all time. The Royals have been terrific the last few years. Martinez strikes out for the 3rd time tonight.
Ten strikeouts for the Astros staff. A nice little slider to get it done.
Gregerson gets number 1, and now it's Castellanos. He's 1 for 3. Ball 1 to him. 6:10 start tomorrow night. As Justin Verlander goes against Colin McHugh. 1:10 Sunday. Mike Fiers and Matt Boyd. In for a strike for Gregerson.
Brownie, I don't know if you saw this one, but I think a big congratulations goes out to Ichiro Suzuki. Picked up a base hit, his 4,191st of his career. You combine it with Japan and the U.S., and that ties Ty Cobb.
Did not see that. 1-2 the count. Well, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. Isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Where is that particular Hall of Fame between Japan and United States baseball located, if you combine the numbers? In the Pacific Ocean somewhere?
The island, the name of the island, I can't recall right now.
Struck him out, 2 down.
Yeah, there should be one, shouldn't there?
Yeah. Midway Island.
Midway, that's the one, yeah. There we go, that slider again, another strikeout. This is Luke Gregerson's slider at its best.
Fans are up. McCann, the batter. McCann is 1 for 3. The Astros trailed 1-0 on a Victor Martinez single in the 4th inning. Dallas Keuchel got a strikeout and a double play ball to get out of trouble in that frame. There's ball 1. In the 5th inning, there were runners at first and third and 1 out. He got a strikeout and a ground out. On the way to win number 14, it would appear. He would be 11-0 at home.
A swing and a miss, one after another here in the inning on that slider.
Keuchel has allowed 13 earned runs and 13 starts at home. One and 2. Win number 63, perhaps a pitch away for the Astros. After a 2-7 road trip, the opener of a 10-game homestand. Two balls, 2 strikes. This Astros bullpen has a 2.73 ERA. Among the best in the American League. Jed Lowry drove in 2 with a double in the 5th to give the Astros the lead, 3-1. Keuchel's corner, all standing in those orange T-shirts. It's been another great time for the people in Keuchel's corner. It would be a 12-game home winning streak for Dallas Keuchel if he gets it tonight, since September 20th of last year. McCann grounder. Correa to his right to wind up this ball game, and that's a 5-1 win for the Astros over Detroit, getting them 10 games over 500. They're 63-53. Dallas Keuchel 14-6, and the Astros keep marching on toward what could be a most improbable playoff berth. They now have a 2.5-game lead of the Los Angeles Angels. It took 3 hours and 10 minutes, and the Astros knocked off the Tigers 5-1.